Welcome to the UFC 229 press conference from the iconic.
All right, guys, we're just going to start with this one. I'm joined by David BC Bridges and my good friend Tyler Double-Rito Dollinger, who, by the way, big congrats, fam. Father of two now. It's nice, man.
Yeah, it's busy around here.
All right. And let's see here. We get our first shots of Conor. Now, we had to fast forward through literally 50 minutes.
Hey, guys. Looks like Conor brought out his whiskey, his proper 12.
Oh, that's actually one I'm rocking right here.
Right.
That's like, Dave, is that like Red Dead for you? Is that like day one? Did you pre-order?
Actually, I haven't actually looked into it, but I was on a certain MMA forum, and they're all talking about it. Apparently, the price points in the mid-20s.
What's it on a dark web or something? A certain MMA
certain
forum.
MMA forum. With, yes. Certain people frequent this forum. No, apparently the price point's like $25. Like, ooh, that's either a good thing or a horribly bad thing.
It's a horribly bad thing.
I know I wanted to delete my Twitter app yesterday because all it was Conor McGregor retweets about his damn whiskey. I don't care. God.
But to be honest, I will give it a shot. I have to give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Literally.
We'll kill it. We'll kill a bottle for this fight.
Yeah, there we go.
Just to remind you, UFC 229.
We should live stream
Khabib
that
versus
too.
McGregor is sold
That's not
out,
bad,
but it is live on pay-per-view. Who has the first question?
Thank you guys for coming out today. First question for Conor. Last time
thank them
during
for
the
coming
UFC
out.
against Eddie Alvarez, you were talking about things like
Nice.
ownership stakes in the UFC. What
If I was an owner and I was part of the promotion, I would have had our fucking fans in this arena. Where's the fucking fans?
Look at that.
That's who we fight for. That's who pays the bills. That's who
Connor's
deserves
already
this
shitting
show.
on Dana.
Bring me all over the fucking world and we're just sitting here in a fucking thing. I'm on probation up to my eyeballs and ongoing and incoming civil cases. And I'm coming here to do this bullshit. Bring the fans here. Here we are. You just wanted a war. Here we fucking are. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's get a war going. Fucking all this other stupid shit. But I mean, hey, I didn't get what I asked. So
It's in line
here we
with
are.
like Conor has been like
what
kind of
was the
like
process
hands
to get you
off
back
on
to the
this
octagon, and why
Oh,
was it
promo
for
for this one.
particular fight?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I came back for
it's
the
actually
love
kind
this,
of
to come and shut this man up.
almost
A little
refreshing
rat,
in a way.
a
It's just a
little
different,
weasel,
it's a different
hard-man
a
in
vibe
groups.
from him.
I've met
Vibe
many
from him,
of
which I think is
through
fun.
my years. A
I
man
mean, he's still
who
Conor and
grows
everything, but it's
in
not just
numbers,
this
but
constant
on his own
barrage,
when
which is
confronted
kind of nice.
in
It's
a
like
similar
the
situation, cowers away, and that's what you
just
saw
this
with
makes
that
the heart
little
grow
shite on
fonder
the
kind of
bus
thing.
over there.
Yeah.
He shit his jocks after doing something to his own countryman that had nothing got to do with anything. And that's it. I
Round
came back
one
for the
goes to
love of
Conor. He
fighting
could have
and the
set his
love of
belts
war,
up
and this
better.
I am going to truly love putting a bad beating on this little glass jaw rat.
Habib, there was a time where you and Conor were pretty cordial with each other, almost friendly.
Fanboy. The man was a fanboy. He bought T-shirts of mine. He fucking supported the cause. You remember that? You little fanboy. You little fanboy bitch. He bought T-shirts to support
Fanboy
the cause.
bitch.
Nothing but respect. And then over on his neck of the woods, a man involved in something who's now in prison. But Vladimir Putin locked him up for embezzling 150 million worth of money from the Russian people. Started to invest and pump money into his gym, so he started to grow in power. Started gaining this false
alright,
power.
guys.
Started thinking he was
I'm
a
not sure
little
if the fact
hard
that
man, tough guy. Then
Vladimir
shit hit the
Putin
fan
locks
with
someone
your
up
man.
is
He
a
gets
reason that
locked
they're a
up
bad
without
guy.
being left. And now here I
Right.
am to put the nail in the coffin. That's how it began. He was a fanboy. Thought he was a little hard man after a while with some money.
Someone's
like
been,
many people
drinking
do.
the Putin
Money
Kool-Aid.
and numbers. Now the
Seriously,
money's
he did
gone.
have
The
that
numbers are
hangout
still there,
session
but
with him
trust me,
during the World
his
Cup,
own countrymen,
which was actually really
his own
hilarious because his
people
Instagram
that
picture of
he told
Conor with
his
Putin,
they wanna
and
see
then
him
Khabib
go
was there
too.
too, but
And I am
he was
gonna
not with
do it
Putin.
in the name of the Russian people.
Habib, do you have any response to what Conor just said?
This is everything what I expect.
In terms of what did you expect?
Like what?
The truth, because that's all I talk.
What are you
Truth.
talking about?
That's all I talk. Truth.
I'm come here for smash this guy. I don't
Smash
wanna
me,
talk.
mate.
I-
Smash
I
me.
don't wanna- I
Here,
don't-
smash me.
I can
You say send location. Here it is, right here in front of you. I'm right in front of you. Did you not see me outside the bus? No. Did you not see me right in front of you outside the fucking bus? I showed you my hands, no weapons. The first thing when I showed up at that bus, I showed not my hands to let it know I come here unarmed, no
Just with a
weapons.
dolly.
Step
Just
off
with
the
a
bus.
dolly.
You talked a big game, now I'm here. He done fucking nothing. He sat and took a shit on that bus. Hid and cowered behind fucking women and caused what happened to happen. So that's fucking that.
Just for
That's a man that does not know how to take responsibility.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Although, it's kind of weird listening to this because at the end of that little monologue right there by Connor, I would expect a bunch of like woos something from the crowd.
Right.
But because it's all press and no fans, it's just like this different vibe going on. It's kind of weird.
Okay, let me help you out, Dave. Woo! Go Connor!
Next question.
Or is that like that soccer chant they all do in Ireland?
Yeah.
Proper 12. Proper
There we go.
What did they think they were gonna do? What did you think
There's
they was gonna
Jed.
do?
That's what I'm talking about. I came here to have a buzz with this. I almost didn't get the glass. I almost didn't get the bottle into the arena. I anticipated that. I anticipated that they weren't going to let me in with me big bottle. So I had a little slurry bottle brought in. You know, you see how tricks up me back pocket all over the gaff. I also brought my own belts because I knew they wouldn't have my fucking belts up here. I'd love a glass, or not a glass, even a cup, something like a toast with all these fine people here of my proper 12 Irish whiskey, if we could get that. If not, I'm probably going to start drinking it out of a bottle. If the bottle gets empty, I don't know what I'll do with this man and an empty bottle. You know what I'm like. So, someone in the back
Just
get
for
me a
data.
cup, a plastic cup, please. Thank you.
Oh man.
all right.
Or please don't.
Turns out he's like one of those like really happy drunks. He starts like finishing that proper 12. He's gonna go over there and give like Khabib a hug.
Oh, Khabib, I'm so sorry for all the shit I said.
Man, I love you, man.
Oh my.
Oh, he's got a glass. He's got a
Who
glass.
is this guy? He's the real hero.
Brown noser.
None of that dance down Jamie shit no more. That's done. We only drink proper 12, they're pure.
Question
Go
for
ahead,
Khabib.
sir.
Appreciate it. Congratulations, Dana, on everything. Khabib, when you're fighting Conor, you're just not fighting Conor. UFC 223, I was there.
Is there a non-man-made Irish whiskey that we're not aware of?
Yeah, I was
this
going
point?
to say, is it made by robots somewhere? Like, what's going
How
on?
does this mindset affect you going into the fight that Conor brings?
Although I guess
a fan
Ireland
base?
does have a pretty big tech community, so you know.
You know,
Oh, you know, yeah, I guess.
Bush's birthday.
I'm not
Here's
underestimating.
a goggle for you, Dana. Proper 12.
I'm not
Proper 12 on me. Hang joy, hang joy.
And when-
Here.
Oh yeah, there he goes. Going. Give it to Khabib. Give it to
Happy
Khabib.
Yeah, shine the bus. Happy birthday,
Like,
shine the bus.
I don't drink.
Why don't you drink?
Oh, if he splashes
Why
on
don't you
him.
drink?
If he splashes it on him.
shit, yeah.
You mad backwards
Come on.
cunt. You're dead when I get my hands on you, you hear me?
Oh,
You're
Dana
fucking
with the
dead.
sixth sense there.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Dana's like, I see where this is going.
Boston animal, Dana White, the OG of the fight game. He'll sup this bad boy.
I think it's gonna be long night for him.
Ah, yes. Oh, Lord, Jamie.
Conor, question for you. Fill in the blank. Conor
I'll
McGregor,
drink his.
Conor McGregor is going to blank Khabib when you guys meet each other.
Stomp on his head as he's unconscious.
There it is.
Is that legal, guys?
Next
Legal move?
question.
Maybe in Pride it would have been fine.
Mark Boyce. Sorry, my hands are still shaking. You've assured yourself total privacy for this camp other than this press conference.
You know, Fedor
Different
would have
than
taken a
previous
drink.
fights. You're always 100%
Fedor don't care.
ready.
He'd have
Oh,
done
yeah.
it.
How has
Yeah,
that preparation
totally.
and that privacy changed how you feel now physically, emotionally?
It's been a war zone in my camp.
Got a blank
We've been preparing
Khabib. Fill
for
in the
war.
blank, Connor.
So, I mean, all you
Are
gotta
we
do is
really
see the images
stooping
and
that
the
low,
videos
boys?
that we
Like,
put
Yeah.
Jesus.
To my team, McGregor
Yeah.
Productions.
I wonder how that guy got his press pass.
And showing glimpses, only glimpses
Straight outta
of the
high
true
school.
hard work.
He's
he-
hey,
is he with the
Connor,
Mac
write-
Life?
Write my
Broken
article for
orbital
me.
bones, broken zygomatic arches,
It's like a Mad
swallowed
Libs.
teeth, broken feet, broken fingers. This has been a war zone. We are coming for war. This fool is saying it's going to be a long night. Trust me, mate. I'm ready for a long night. You hold on to legs for dear life. That's how you fight. You talk chicken this, chicken that. You shit your jokes when shit came on top. But you actually fight like a little shitty jokes rat. Anyway, you dive for the legs and hold on to them for dear life. What kind of fighting is that? What kind of way of fighting is that? your little fake belt over there to be a guy, a number 11 ranked, a real estate agent, and you bring that belt up on stage like it's a real belt.
But we weren't supposed to break our training
and I'm gonna
partners in
expose
camp.
you. Now
That
you're on the
seems
real
counterintuitive.
Yeah, with the real
Only
dog,
at
real blood I am, and you're gonna be smoked
AKA.
October 6th. Live on
No, it was
pay-per-view.
that Brazilian
And I
one
am
that was the
gonna
worst.
Oh yeah, where
fucking second of it.
oh
Shoot-
crap.
Hope it's a
shoot
lie.
up.
Yeah.
Shoot a box?
Yes. Yeah. I think you're right.
You think
Yeah.
he's gonna stand up with you for at least one round and swing it all?
I don't give a fuck what he's gonna try and do. He's gonna be swinging wildly like he is, sloppy, shooting for the legs. He's an amateur. He's a 20. Would you believe he's 26-0? I've never met an unbeaten amateur in the professional game. I mean, he's fucking fought nobody, absolutely nobody. Anyone that he's half fought has been decisions. He's
It was
in
funny
over his
'cause,
head. I'm
you
gonna
know,
pick him apart.
Connor
I'm gonna
always
leave him in there
dominates
and
these kind of
absolutely
things. It's just,
maul
you
him,
know,
and
that's
it.
what Connor does.
Right.
But it's like more so this time just because of Khabib's nature and his personality. Like, there's like no pushback whatsoever.
I stay relaxed, brother. I stay relaxed. I don't feel nothing. I know I have location.
I stay on bus.
6.
It is kind of weird though. He's like, it's not going to be a long night. I'm going to whoop your ass. I hope it's a long night.
Yeah.
You remember this? When we talk.
Pick one.
You remember
You
this?
bought me t-shirt, got a little fat
Like,
ass
he did
on
just
it.
shoot that proper 12, which I guess is like, you know, as an ABV of 80% or something.
Twitter, who's on Twitter, man?
Pretty sure that there's not any horse meat
I
involved.
send you a message. We talk with you.
Fuck your message.
Yes, like
I don't type the blokes, mate.
John
It's not
Jones
my
drink it.
thing.
Okay.
It's not my thing.
Like without
I'm telling you,
everybody.
You win.
Tony is hoping that's the case. He's sitting there in the wings. He's got that fight booked with Pettis. He's ready.
I hope
He's-
so, because if you pull out like you
he's
always
ready
do
for that-
now, may God have mercy on your
for
soul.
the failed drug test.
You little pull out
Also,
man.
speaking of, like, that seems like a little, I don't know, not shitty, but it's kind of a pretty big step down for Tony.
Yeah. I mean, Pettis looked good against Chiesa.
Yeah, no, he did, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
If you'd have got off that bus, you'd be dead now. You'd be
I think we've talked about it before.
Those paychecks.
I feel like Ferguson, in many ways. I mean, I don't even really know. I go back and forth. I actually can see this fight being like a quick finish either way. It's such a like extreme style matchup.
Right.
Like Conor can catch Khabib and it's over. Khabib could take him to the ground. We know Conor has like a good 2-3 rounds in him, and he kind of like even he's admitted himself he kind of gets wobbly. If you have Khabib on top of you for an entire round, I think that's gonna eat him quicker. So I could see a finish in 2 rounds for Khabib if he could take him to the ground and maul him. I could see finishing 1 round if Conor like catches him and then like finishes him with strikes on the ground, kind of like he did with Eddie.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Almost exactly.
It is a really interesting fight. Yeah, like you said, the stylistic differences are just so different. They're so stark. Pretty great.
Rampage would improve.
Yeah, and sometimes with those like extreme style matchups, I don't know. You could look at it and you could be like, oh, this is a boring fight. You know, it could look like a boring fight, especially if like you have the 2 guys that really respect each other's skills, like a Woodley and Thompson style fight.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen here.
Yeah.
When the person you are looking for showed up, you took a shit on the back of a bus. So shut your fucking mouth.
Okay, but why you don't ask your friend, hey, when someone give you slap, you have to give him back? What happened? If we guys,
Adam knows what he should have done. He should have stitched you a low focus you and got out there.
Doesn't
That
matter.
doesn't matter.
They're hooded teammates?
If someone
This seems like a very important detail. I'm a bit concerned.
Also, don't you guys agree that it was a huge oversight on the UFC's part to not have one of the fights on this card be Artem versus one of Khabib's buddies? Like, come on, guys! Like, that's what we really want.
I don't know, man. Artem got shook. Did you see that video?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Khabib was going straight up Bane on him. I was like, do you feel in control?
No, the real fight would have been like bring the 2 teams out and like Marvel versus Capcom style, last man standing wins.
Just stick them all in the octagon, like all 30 of them, and just see what happens.
Every time one guy goes down, another guy hops the fence and gets to it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
With everybody. And And UFC told me, hey, you guys have to go with one guy. Okay, I go.
Dude, it's like that 5-on-5 MMA. Have you seen that? It's like the
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
videos of that.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's always like it's like fun, and all of a sudden it's like 3-on-1. You go, oh, this is not fun anymore.
Yeah, you hate to be the guy with like a good chin on a shitty team.
Yeah, that's the worst position to be.
You might retire because of how much money you made from the fight with Mayweather. Are you happy to be back?
This is called prize fighting. But thankfully, I'm such a crafty individual with my other entities and my entire game as a whole that I don't actually.
I'm gonna put him back to box.
I'm gonna put him back to box. The bang of shit off of me.
You have to fight only box because you
I
cannot compete with
I
high-level
don't
guys
have to
wrestling.
fight for money no more. Thank the Lord.
You
Jesus,
fight with
hate
small
Christ.
guys in
I
fight
don't have to
division.
fight
And
for
these
money
guys
no more.
who have
I've
wrestling,
made
they
so
give
much
you
to my
bar
other
from them.
entities.
What are you talking about?
If I
Your
make
wrestling is zero. Your grappling is zero.
Stall it down,
I'm
Bob.
gonna
Stall
mow
it.
you.
Let's wrestle, kid.
Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle.
6 October.
Oh,
let's wrestle.
Habib, you're trying so hard to pull a Conor right now.
Yeah.
It's just not you, man.
After this fight, you're gonna go to the back to box.
Actually, like that is kind of how Khabib is, though. He kind of like he'll get like really dark, but he'll just kind of like stay on his one. He's like very single track minded.
Hey, I come here for legacy. You come for money. You come for money. I come for legacy.
Then eventually it gets like these weird like phrases because his English is like, I must rearrange face.
I would break you.
Yeah.
Ask him to release him again. Ask him to release him. Oh, now you don't understand. You mad rat.
Oh yeah, Conor's concerned about decorum all of a sudden.
Lying
Right.
rat. A fake lying. I'm real. I wear it on my chest. There's a gorilla on my chest. I wear it proud of me. I don't lie about nothing. You're saying it's not about money. It's not about legacy. You're a lying bastard. When money got pumped into your
Nah,
camp
man.
by that little
Like this
scumbag that
is
sounded little
like
white
Conor 101. This is like well done. You got to find like a sore point. You weren't gonna be able to rattle Khabib. There was nothing he could yell at Khabib that was gonna scare him, intimidate him, make him change his game. And so he's doing the right thing. Bring politics into it. Bring Putin into it. Bring his camp into it and the controversies around this camp into it. Make it personal. You got to get him heated. You know, if you're Conor,
to take over the whiskey business. Look at the noise it has made. This is a true beast I have in my possession here. I do not fight for the prize. I did not begin fighting for the prize.
Back to the whiskey.
I began to fight because I loved it.
talking about whiskey though, guys, like it would not be out of question for us to invest in a barrel. It's not really that expensive.
Oh, actually, yeah, I didn't think about that.
What are you doing here? Why you come here?
And most of the time, like the whiskey price, it comes from marketing and it comes from like special events. So like there was like this bottle in Scotland. There was like this barrel and like each like it was like they said that they left it in there for a while and it was just like one of those batches. It came out looking like motor oil. It wouldn't be something that you would look at and go like, oh yeah, I want to drink that. And it was going for like thousands of dollars a bottle because what was it? I forgot who it was, but like the guy that like invested in it, like his country won the World Cup that year. So like it was like his World Cup batch that he like gifted like part with the like he gave some to the team, and so it was like everyone like wanted a part of like that history, that legacy,
right?
And so it like kind of built up, but like otherwise.
These nuts. I don't have to do nothing for nobody. I'm psycho bred, mate.
Did he just insinuate that Putin's gonna have Khabib assassinated?
Like fucking you.
Yeah, it's kind of what it sounded like.
Go ahead, sir.
All right.
Khabib's not selling secrets. Why would Putin assassinate him?
There's been some criticism. Michael Bisping said on his podcast about your wrestling training heading into this
Khabib
fight.
wouldn't know a national security secret if it smacked him in the face.
Your wrestling going up against Khabib. He's also been blasting your wrestling as well.
I am very, very well coached. My coaching team, Coach John Kavanagh, he has coached me very well. We are ready for this. My wrestling coach, Sergey Pikulski, my striking coaches, my conditioning coaches on the McGregor Fast program. We are ready here. We are ready for war. We are ready for
dude, did you guys see him? Like he like reached out to this dude on the gram about his like McGregor Fast program.
Supreme supreme confidence you will look
Really?
here.
It was like some dude
We're
just like
gonna go
wrote to
out
it. He's
and
like I'm a
enjoy
fan of
this
yours or like
contest on
whatever,
October 6th,
and
because
like
again,
like
that's all I'm doing it
whatever.
for, because
Like
I
McGregor like wrote
fucking
back
love
to him
it.
like a
Don't
long
have
ass
to
like
do it
paragraph,
otherwise.
like hey,
It's just
thanks for the
'cause I love
support,
it.
I love you, like
That's
blah blah blah,
it.
all of this. You know, I can
really
tell
think you're
from
gonna
just
enjoy
looking
with
at your
me?
body, you have a high level of
I'm gonna
estrogen,
love
probably
it.
from a very unhealthy and
question.
sedentary lifestyle. I
mentioned
could
the
see
money that
you're
you
probably
made from your
growing
boxing
bitch tits
experience.
in the
Is there anything
under that
else from
t-shirt.
fighting Mayweather
I
that
would
you've been
suggest the
able to bring
McGregor
back to
Fast
your
program
MMA
for you.
preparations?
Of course, it was a
Dude,
great
only
boxing
Conor.
match.
Only
That's
Conor.
amazing.
Only
That's
Conor.
amazing.
A fight that
Oh,
long,
man.
30 minutes, my longest contest that was. I learned some things, of course. You take with you from every fight, you learn and grow. So, I was very happy with the experience.
It is funny when you
as a
compare
whole.
the
And of course, you'll see on
resumes
October 6th
between these
the
two
lessons I've
fighters.
learned.
You know, the level of competition they faced, and yeah, Khabib's 26-0, but
Floyd
you know,
Mayweather issued
the past few
a warning
fights have been
saying
against
that Conor doesn't fear
good
anyone. What do you
fighters.
say to Floyd Mayweather?
But you know, Conor went out
Floyd
and
Mayweather,
KO'd Aldo, and you know, Poirier and Alvarez.
He's only fought killers.
Yeah.
Connor has fought
Yeah.
killers.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't.
Yeah.
Dude, I dig those headphones, Tyler. Is when it like shines red like that? Is it muted?
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's pretty beast, bro.
I am most
We were
active.
laughing in the Brooklyn locker
Steel
room.
series.
Yeah, I mean,
This is my
there's
first fight in last
they're both high
month,
level.
You know,
They're
and
like this is a
26-0
really
never
big
lose
fight.
round.
Super excited for
And
it
I
for
don't
sure.
know what this guy
But
talking about. I don't understand
like,
what they're gonna do 6 October.
you know,
think whiskey
I
gonna
think the
help
Conor
him?
fanboys.
I
It
know.
makes you if you're just like a fan of Conor or you like appreciate him as a fighter.
Next question.
It's hard to not get lumped into that.
Conor says he's ready
He's
for
fought
your ground
killers.
for your
Yeah.
ground
He fought
game.
killers that we didn't know were
Seen
killers.
what
Like
Conor
he
can do.
he
have a question
he
for you.
beat
What
up
do you
Max
think?
Holloway, and we were like, oh, okay,
I'm not
whatever.
whatever you are.
And then we're like, wait, Max Holloway is like pound for pound one of the
Really
best.
good.
Make him tired and after
you know,
play with him.
He
Because
took
when
out
he tired, he
Aldo
always give
when
up.
Aldo was
He
the
don't like,
kingpin.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, when you go to the he moved to box and he tap there. You know, like like when someone punch you like 10.
You tap the bus window,
you
kid.
Tap, you tap
You
boxing.
tap the bus window.
3 times.
You
3
tap the
times.
little stop
3
that
times
stops
he
the
tap.
bus.
You tap 4
Someone
times.
stop this
What are you
bus.
talking about? What are you talking about? You tap 3. You tap 3, 4 times. You tap 4
So
times.
what? I'll tap your
You
head off
tap
the
like
canvas,
chicken.
kid.
You tap like
I'll
chicken 4
tap your
times.
head off the canvas.
Next question.
All right, I think it's time for Conor to take another shot at that proper 12.
Yes,
I mean, it's
please.
time to get lit.
Let's do this. Let's turn this into a proper press conference.
Prediction on the fight?
You cannot say salam alaikum and
No one's
cannot
thrown a
about
bottle
this.
yet. I'm kind of disappointed.
He brought Conor brought the bottles. He was like, I don't have monster cans to throw at these guys.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do about that? You got to
How about a whiskey
disrespect me.
bottle?
Do something, then I just shut your mouth.
One of my
Fucking
favorite parts of the
brilliant.
Five Finger Death Punch concert a couple weeks back was we were leaving and the monster truck was out front just handing them out.
Oh, for real?
Like, yeah, there's 2 of us. I'm taking 2 home, boys.
Nice.
Hey, man, you were
Nice.
lucky you actually like saw an entire
Domination, his
concert.
head
I heard that's
bouncing
not
off
always the case
canvas.
with those guys.
All his pony talk is gonna be
Oh,
fucking put
that
on
was
blast.
low. Come on. You can't hold a guy's past against him. Connor threw a dolly at a bus once.
As long as it
Ivan
takes.
went on
I
a
believe
bender
one.
once. Come
He's a
on.
glass jaw.
Once, twice.
Pass is
The
pass.
Pass is the
My kitchen
pass.
friends of mine, I
Oh,
sold them.
man.
They told me that they have chicken jaws in Dagestan, and I believe them because I know a glass jaw when I see one, and I've seen this man wobble many times. I've seen his brother sparked unconscious in another promotion. I know he is afraid of a smack, and if you're afraid of a smack off me, a smack will feel like a double-barrel shotgun. So I believed inside the force, but I have been wrong before. I will be prepared for 5 rounds. You're looking at a fighting veteran. I've came through it all. I've been
I actually
through it all.
really,
I've been on both
I think it's
sides
something
of the
that
world.
people
I've
haven't been
on the
talking
boxing
about.
side and I've
Conor
been
has
this
been on
side.
a long
I'm ready
hiatus.
for
He's
any occurrence.
been doing the
But
boxing
this man's
thing,
a glass
and then he
jaw
kind of like,
strong.
you know,
I'm
last
gonna
thing we heard of
shot
him
him
was
like
the
that glass was shattered.
dolly
May
thing,
God have mercy
right?
on his
Right.
soul.
Probably hasn't
On
been
October
back there
6th.
training throwing dollies,
Khabib,
but
do you have a
I'm
prediction?
actually interested to see how much he's added to his game. I mean, this is one of the
Next question.
best fighters in the UFC
Assalamu
in his
alaikum,
prime. You know,
Except for him,
generally
it's-
these guys
Khabib,
they
your
improve
last
quite a
fight,
bit
your
during this
opponent
time.
changed
Yeah.
right before you and I mean,
Do nothing, cunt.
I mean,
and that fight
until
right there
more
was a very
recently,
hard fight
because
for you.
MMA's
This fight you
been
got right here in front
building
of
through
you.
the years,
What do
we
you
didn't
do
get to
different on
see a
this
lot
fight?
of guys at age 30
When
be
last
where they
time,
are,
like, when someone
right?
fight for
Like,
the belt,
Liddell was older than 30 when he kind of hit his stardom, right?
Right.
But we kind of didn't get like that long curve that we could
He
have.
went in for you. He went the full distance with you.
Yeah, exactly.
He went what?
He went the full distance. He went the full distance with you, he said. See that belt you have on your lap there? The one that you're proudly representing.
It's okay. This
When I
guy's
won
not
that
bad.
belt, I sparked the
This
guy
guy is tough
inside
guy.
2 rounds, dominated him,
He
dropped
did
him
lot
3
of tough
times in the
guys.
first round.
I don't think
Madison
he's
Square
fighting
Garden,
nobody.
the home of the champ.
He's good. He's tough guy.
Is he?
And
Madison Square
I
Garden.
think he can beat.
Is he talking about the Knicks, bro?
And about decision, but I win every round. I win every round, and I take my belt. You have question?
In Khabib's defense, Iaquinta is a very good wrestler, and he wasn't fighting to win. He was fighting to survive. So basically, everything he was doing was essentially MMA running. It was takedown defense, go away. He didn't throw any kicks. He threw weak jabs, and then was prepping for the takedown. He didn't give Khabib openings. Not that I would imagine Conor would.
Yeah, for that takedown.
I think Khabib's like, he really needs to like keep with single shots, maybe 1-2s, like keep it very simple. This guy does not want to draw out combinations. The more he stands up and gives Conor opportunities to counter strike, that left is gonna get him. And
Yeah, that's a bad idea for him.
and he, like the way he fights, like he always gets his rear hand up, protects his head really well every single time, instinct. If you watch the Michael Johnson fight, boom, and he was able to save himself from those hooks. But Conor cracks you right down the middle. He won't really like loop over. And also, I would imagine Conor would see him dropping, or Khabib dropping that lead hand. And Conor probably is working on that right hook, like boom, straight right hook. That could do damage.
Back to New York for UFC 230.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Proper 12.
Was this the original plan for the main event for UFC 230 before obviously what happened in April? Like the fiasco with Conor?
It's crazy. Usually you have to pay for a sponsorship like that.
Yeah, all you have to do is bring it out. Is it correct that it's going to be on the canvas for 229?
No way.
That's what I heard. I heard it was going to be one of the ads on the canvas, but I could be totally wrong. That could be just like a rumor, but pretty sure I heard that.
October 28th, UFC 230, like I just said.
It's kind of interesting.
Is November 3rd. Is it possible that we're going to see John Jones on that main event?
He will not be on that main event.
100% no?
100% no.
Okay, wow. And Conor, this question.
John Jones news.
Looking forward to
So in that case, when Brock Lesnar fights again, he can get his own beer brand on the canvas, right?
I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yes.
2 amazing fighters. Nate Diaz.
Brock Light.
Dustin Poirier took that loss in the chin and came back and has showcased a good mental strength and has had some great, phenomenal fights and wins inside the
Is
octagon.
it Brock Light because
Inside the
it's easy
octagon.
on your stomach?
I'm very, very much
Yeah.
we'll see what happens after. So I wish both men the best of luck, and we'll see.
Just for Dana, real quick, the decision to put the Conor bus incident from Brooklyn into the promos for this fight, what was that decision like? Was that tough? Was there any consideration about not doing that?
No.
Not tough at all. It's part of the storyline. It is what it is. There's been other situations where things have happened leading up to a fight, and
That was a dumb
you
question.
played the story the way that the story played out.
Conor, you thought it should have been in there in the promos?
At least he stays on point. Like,
Yeah.
it's always hard to focus on multiple targets.
When you're in that situation that everyone has now seen on video multiple times, what's going through your head? You're in
Yeah,
that
proper
loading
number
dock,
12 will be an
dollars
official
in your hand.
sponsor of
I just thank the Lord
229.
Jesus Christ
Oh.
that man had not got the balls to step foot off that bus, because trust me, or that the bus door did not open, because if that bus door had have opened, this man would be dead right now. He would be in a box and I would be in a cell, and we would not have this great fight ahead of us. So there are many things I can speak on about that incident and about the lead up and about my emotions and things like that, but there are still many ongoing situations involved in it. So I'm just here to compete on October 6th in Las Vegas,
I just want friends like
Nevada.
Conor, man. I mean,
Live
like
pay-per-view.
would you guys go and kill a man if some dude went and like
McGregor Sports and Entertainment.
threatened me with his posse? Would you be like, I'm gonna kill you?
And that's it.
You guys, depends on who it was.
Same question, you're on the bus.
If it was Khabib, sorry, bro, you should have luck.
Through your head.
Depends on how hard the adrenaline's hit.
Yeah.
This is show his weakness.
Did Tyler drink one
He
monster or
showed
two
his
monsters?
weakness.
Exactly.
When he with 40 people.
I showed you my bare hands. First thing.
Okay, I'm.
Here's my hands.
Like
no weapons.
205.
Get off the bus, mate.
Okay,
You
205.
talked
You
all
guys
this
remember
talk.
when
You're
we
doing all
meet
these
in
actions.
backstage?
Here I am with no
He was a very nice guy.
With no
he was very nice
no
guy,
weapons.
but when he come with
Actually,
40
yeah,
people,
you know,
he
you
will
asked
change.
that.
This is show
Dude,
his
we've been there.
Me and him
You
is
remember
gonna
we
be
went to go
alone.
play ball in Haltom City that one time?
6 October.
Oh,
And-
dude.
Last thing for me, Khabib,
Those
was your
crazy,
father
like,
visa
crackhead guys.
for this fight?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Haltom City.
think-
That's where the real ballers
Still
go.
work, but I think maybe no.
That
We go
want to
up
get
the
shot.
court,
show you all
we
that.
sweep the court like twice.
Connor had,
We
written on
jump in the
Instagram
car
about
because we
your dad
realize
calling
these
you a
boys
coward.
have been on their
That's
cell
better than
phones.
anyone
As we're leaving, there's like 3 cars of
Most
other
important
dudes
is 6
pulling in.
October. No, he can talk
Oh, jeez.
whatever he wants. We're gonna
Get
talk.
out of there.
It was
And
dicey.
6 October
Oh,
is
yeah.
most important. For me, it's most important.
Oh, yeah.
When Cage
It's
closed,
like
we
a
got
minute
over.
of
Chechen
introspection.
people know what I'm
Was
talking about
I
when I call this
actually
man
a
coward. When I
Khabib?
called his father a
Which-
Khabib.
which
That him and Kadyrov were at a mosque together, and he posted a picture of Kadyrov on his Instagram site. Kadyrov is a Chechen dictator, a crazy man, don't get me wrong. But Khabib's father, lick arse oh fucking Houlihan, posted a picture of Kadyrov at this mosque, and Khabib's father posted a picture up, and the caption is, "Together we are stronger." It's such fake respect out of fear. The Chechens know, the Chechen people know that if the tables were turned and there was an opportunity for his father to stab that man in the back, he would do it in a heartbeat to take over. And he did not do nothing. And that's why he is a quivering coward, because he showed fake respect out of fear. And that's where that came from.
I don't know what his father teach him, but my father teach me, you cannot never give up and be respect always. This is what my father teach me. And I never give up, and I always respect.
The father
But I
wasn't
don't
even
know
in the
about
picture.
his father.
It was just a
I don't wanna
they were just in the
talk
same
shit about his
location. It was like, I
father
hope I
because
don't
I
bump
cannot.
into you, pal.
Because, you
I
know,
hope I don't bump into you,
and,
sir. But
about
together
this
we are
guy,
stronger.
I'm
Just
gonna
please
teach him a little
don't,
bit.
just
I'm
sort
gonna
me
teach
out,
him
please.
inside the
Help me.
cage.
Fake
And
respect.
then I know
out of
how I
fear.
like talk with my opponents. I'm gonna talk with him, teach him, like give him a little bit masterclass.
Thank you, Michael Regan here from.
I'll say, Khabib seems to be
Connor,
taking that
and,
stuff
congratulations
fairly
on the
well.
whiskey
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, it's like you come after my pops. That's kind of like serious business.
Salesman, I'll sell you upside down the head.
I've never seen anything bad about your dad. He's a good man.
Yes, up the Shannon bar.
I'd be very surprised if anyone would. He's such a goofy guy. I mean, like, I'll say that. He's a goofball. He's got a stupid ass laugh.
The World Cup final, you're in the
But
stands,
he's a good dude, though.
Actually, yeah, I think I'd punch anyone in the nose that said something mean about your dad. It's just not right.
It was great match.
Oh my gosh, that
What was
Conor,
that laugh? Oh my gosh.
his like little
Good old
wee-
leprechaun.
I don't feel nothing, you know, because I never want to take picture with someone. Doesn't matter. It's president.
Are you disrespecting your president Vladimir Putin?
No, why not?
Are you disrespecting your president Vladimir Putin?
No.
Then what do you mean by that?
I don't want to take picture with.
What do you mean by that then?
What?
Explain what do you mean. Are you disrespecting
Okay,
your
I'm gonna
president?
explain. Sit. I'm gonna explain. Okay.
Fake rat. Like I said, fake
picture.
respect out of fear.
Okay.
That's all these men are known for. They were chased from
Wait,
their land.
Connor's
They were
shooting a
chased from
shot.
their land to
This
the
is
edge.
what he does.
My family, my bloodline, the McGregor clan, we stood and we fought. We fought the English Empire. So much so that our name was banished for 100 years by King James at the time.
Okay. Why you guys
This-
change your language?
Shut
Okay,
your mouth.
You guys have
Shut
your
your
own
mouth.
language. What's wrong with you? Now you talk about you.
No, man,
guys
that's
fight
it.
this English
I'm
Empire.
carrying them
And
down
what
with your
happened with
letters
your
here on
language?
bus.
Hey, talk English.
I can speak Irish, mate. I can speak my native
Okay,
tongue.
let's go.
I'm a
I can talk with you.
I call bullshit on that. I think
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Connor just that was the extent of it, and he just said,
Yeah.
"Hello, how are you?"
You know what that means?
He knows how to speak Irish the same way
Ireland
David
here
knows how to
own
speak
language.
Spanish.
What's wrong?
Where's the baño?
English change your language. Now you talk
We
with.
want to crack open that bottle.
Como
Now,
estas,
again,
tacos?
Now you talk English.
I didn't know that was there.
What's wrong with your English?
Speaking of tacos, did I say it correctly that Taco Bell was rated like the
we got time
best
for one
ranked
more question.
Mexican food restaurant or something like that?
Please don't antagonize
Oh my
anybody.
gosh. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love some Taco Bell, but
Proper
jeez.
Whiskey an official sponsor of UFC 229?
It is.
It is.
Well, they clarified it for you, Dave. Clarified it for you.
You bet your bucks it is. It's on their canvas. It's on their canvas. Look, his blood will be on their canvas. October 6th. Let's get this face off.
Look, that is such an epic move. Conor better not lose. There is nothing worse than a shot of him like on the ground next to
his logo.
Oh god, that'd be amazing though.
Oh my gosh, what a great screen grab that would be.
I don't think you could lose either way with that picture.
I think that was it. All right, guys. So thoughts? I think it went basically the way I figured it would go.
Yeah. Not really too many surprises there. Conor did his thing, kind of dominated the entire time.
Right.
You know, hit like you said, hit Khabib's perceived weak points, and Khabib, was his usual quiet self, kind of, one-track mind. So, yeah, as expected.
Tyler?
Yeah, that's pretty much right down the middle, except for, well, thankfully we didn't watch this thing live because we'd have been sitting around for an hour trying to break down Captain Marvel and I'd have gone into something about the Russian Legion from the NXL Chicago Open this past weekend. And
man, did you think we'd have to go back and bust out some of that policy debate skills from high school?
That'd have been all improv skills right there,
didn't
buddy.
Didn't know it was coming out. Yeah, I thought it was pretty standard fare. To me, the most telling thing, or the thing to look for, is kind of just Khabib. Does he feel like does he look like he's rattled? I mean, I just remembered Aldo just looked so rattled. Like when it just looked like Conor was bullying him, and he just was so uncomfortable with it. And he was used to being the guy. He was used to being the guy that kind of, intimidated people, and also he was like fairly respectful. Khabib, I think, very similar. You don't really see him trash talking like for the Michael Johnson fight. Not a lot of trash talking. Edson Barbosa, not a lot of trash talking. Quinta, there wasn't a chance for them to trash talk. I think he literally found out about that like 24 hours before.
Right. Well, it seems just not be his nature. Even with it was the Michael Johnson fight, right? It's like
literally
when
surprised
when he's beating him in the corner, and he's kind of like, this is my destiny. Like, you must submit or whatever. It's not. It's like his own version of trash talk.
I know Khabib is listed as being taller than McGregor. It was surprising to actually see that was true, because I feel like a lot of fighters, they kind of like they lie. They lie. I just remembered what was Eddie Alvarez, who like lists himself as like 5'9", 5'10", and like looked tiny next to Conor.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, he may not have the height advantage. He's still going to have a substantial reach advantage going into the fight, and you better believe it. He's going to use that
as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy. I don't see Khabib having an edge anywhere in the striking battle, and to me, when you have a high-level striker versus a high-level grappler, you start off. In my opinion, the striker has a slight edge, like not much, but a slight edge, just because you don't start in a grappling position. You don't start together. You start on opposite sides of the octagon, and so a guy that's good at striking, an elite-level striker, is good at maintaining that distance, and is he can kind of dictate the pace early on, and it's up to, the onus is on the grappler to close that distance.
Right.
So we'll see what Khabib does. I mean, as much as we talk about Conor being a counter striker, Khabib kind of depends on drawing out shots to work his grappling game. How does he work against a guy that's going to be waiting for him to do something? His striking game is like Conor's going to be levels above him when it comes to the striking game. So
yeah, for Khabib, his striking it's serviceable, but there are probably 20 guys in that division with better striking than he has.
Right. I mean, with Khabib, I just look at it. He could have a decent jab, but he gets sloppy with it. I like his straight, his hooks. Everything is very wide. Everything is very telegraphed. I just don't particularly like any part of his striking game. I would like to see him incorporate some leg kicks. We saw Eddie Alvarez have some success with that early on with Conor. I would like to see him do that, especially since if you can get Conor to just slow down or like it. Conor in those positions, Eddie wasn't able to capitalize. I think Khabib would just go balls out like right there, any moment of weakness and try to get his paws on Conor, try to secure a body lock, get a takedown, and just like, hey, Conor's takedown defense may be good, according to his fans, maybe good enough to stop Khabib. You better believe it. Khabib will put that to the test. He's going to be like, well, whatever. We'll see. We'll see how good it is. With Khabib, he's got a good, strong lead uppercut. It's fast. It's explosive. And again, he's got good reactive defense. At least blocking the side of his head. He gets kind of lazy with his hands. Conor, you can't really describe it as being lazy with your hands because that's just like his style of fighting. He kind of keeps his hands low, has that wide stance. We're not going to really go into a few breakdowns. This is really just like more of a reaction to the press conference. We're so hyped about this fight. And I don't know what else we could have expected from that. It was really fun getting to see Conor do Conor shit again. Go out there and take a swig of that proper 12. And we got to figure out a way to get ourselves a bottle, Dave. Will it be out? Will it be out by the time we...
it's out now in Ireland and the U.S. Sorry, Tyler. Tyler's
like, oh, maybe I'll just drink some good whiskey.
But I just looked on their website,
yeah,
and I don't see any within the 100 miles of of my address at least. So maybe by October 6th it'll be in the area. We'll see.
I'll put a word into Papa.
Gracias.
You better get it.
You gotta look into the distributor who's pushing it, right? That's how quick it'll get out.
So.
We'll have to go to one of those like whiskey tastings in DC. I wonder if it's there. It's like in their low end stuff. It's like you go there, you want to try like their nice stuff. They're like, here's this proper 12 shit.
Whatever,
apparently UFC fans really like it. Man, that's
guys who are known for the good whiskey taste.
Yeah, we will have to get a bottle. And again, so we're not gonna do a breakdown. We will have this is like kind of like part one. It's just like a reaction part one. Kind of like talk about the fight a little bit. We will have a more thorough breakdown next week. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Any last thoughts? Just kind of like. And last thoughts for this episode, but sort of initial thoughts for this fight. Tyler, I'm going to start with you.
I'm really impressed by the Marvel face stuff. Sam Jackson looks great in the. Oh wait, shit! No, we're wrong breakdown.
Dude, that CGI is dope though. I mean, it looked pretty good when they did the barf stuff with Tony Stark. You remember what was that, Civil War?
Yeah,
But that still definitely looked CGI. But then it was like, oh, but it was like just a hologram, so it was okay that it looked fake. But that stuff looked legit. I was like, damn. Samuel L. Jackson.
I saw somebody that is side by side from Pulp Fiction.
Right.
Like it's
pretty good.
Spot on. Yeah.
Nice.
They did a good job.
That'll be a good one.
She is captain now. Thank you, Tyler, for that McGregor Khabib breakdown. Captain Marvel. Okay, cool. Well, what's Captain Marvel's role against Thanos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good. Okay. David, initial thoughts on McGregor Khabib?
Honestly, I think my main thought the entire time was just I didn't realize how much I miss having Conor in the octagon until I walked out there and started talking. I was like, oh man, I really miss this. There's just something about Conor's magnetism both on that stage and in the octagon that I'm just super excited to see again. Like I really am.
In MMA is very exciting right now. That's why.
It's true. Yeah. And the way he fights too, like against Eddie Alvarez. I went back and I rewatched that, and I'm just gonna be rewatching a lot of like Conor and Khabib's previous fights in anticipation for our breakdown. But just the way he kind of like he shift, pawed with the left, see where that reach was, and then boom, landed it. And it was almost like he didn't even follow it up. He could have finished that fight earlier. If you watch that fight, there was a moment when he knocked Eddie down. He could have probably finished it there. And he didn't. It was just kind of like he looked at it and he was like, dude, I'm just like so much better than you. Get up.
Right. Yeah.
It was something to behold. Oh, look, we got a cameo. What's up? What's up, Brittany? We got a cameo.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm with you, David. Super excited to see Conor back. Honestly, the biggest star of the sport. I mean, we're going to be getting back like the elder guy, John Jones. He's like the elder, star.
The other most controversial UFC fighter going right now.
Right. Who got the official USADA announcement or whatever? It was like 15 months time served. It's like, thanks, guys. We kind of knew. It was like, and then I loved how it was like, I'm just waiting for John Jones to come out, like have a press conference. He was like, you see, they actually only punished me 0 days. As of right now, I could fight. So, I mean, if I actually took something, don't you think they would have given me some more time? But no,
guys, it wasn't even really punishment. Like, I was just in.
It was
anyway.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
Yeah,
this was
I've been training the entire time. I wanted the time off. I mean,
yeah. The benefit was they didn't test me for blow most of the time. So like, I've been coked out of my ass. It's great.
You got to think about it, man. Like every single time the next fight he does, he's gonna like have the same thing, but this time it's gonna be like steroids and cocaine combined.
Oh, nice.
And he's gonna be like crazy.
That sounds like a real business idea.
He's gonna like freaking straight up like kill someone in the ring, and it's gonna be like, oh wow, he had like dangerous amounts of cocaine and steroids, and there's like zero reason why we didn't catch this before, but. We needed him for the fight to sell the card. We'll just deal with it afterwards. And they're like, all right, well, we're going to have to adjudicate this. And 2 years later, all right, 2 years, time served, John Jones. You see? I mean, they didn't give me any time. Just time served. I didn't do anything. Innocent.
Didn't we previously talk about an offshore fighting organization?
Yes.
Find that island now.
Yeah.
Royd Island. It's too bad.
Now stepping up to the chair to receive their clearance dose of steroids and cocaine.
Oh, let's go.
There. Don't even worry about checking the gloves. F it. Let's go.
Yeah. See, Brock Lesnar actually has like just cocaine, like just injected right into his
like
trap
Bane style.
Just like Bane. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I mean, at least if he did that, he might have a shot against DC. But
he needs something.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap things up. So yeah, that was it. Conor's back. We haven't really heard too much about it from him. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of promo for this Proper 12. And then, as we were talking about earlier, he randomly reaches out to fans to tell them to get on the the McGregor Fast or whatever.
McGregor Fast, I think.
McGregor
Fast program.
Fast program. So we're not plugging him. Mac Live doesn't give us any money, so you can check that out. Don't check it out. I don't really give a shit. But Khabib's all. I mean, Khabib's all about just he's kind of like all the other UFC fighters. So it's all about the fight, And Conor is like. He's made his money, and you could see he's kind of like more of a businessman now. It's like, I'm more than just a fighter. I got these brands. He's always been about building his brand, and now he's got that platform, and he's shooting a shot. So, dude, it's good to see Conor back. Really stoked for this fight. We will have a much more thorough breakdown for you guys coming soon. And until next time, we are the Bros.